Before we begin, I invite you to listen with an open heart and a gentle spirit. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to pause for a moment in the sacred silence around us. Sometimes when life feels like it's reaching its end, it's easy to believe that hope has disappeared, that the story is over. Fatigue settles deep into the bones, and shadows of regret and guilt linger like heavy clouds, dimming the light that once guided us. Old wounds can feel like chains holding us in places we no longer recognize. It's as if we are standing at the edge of an invisible abyss, unsure if there's a way back or if this is the final chapter of our journey. Yet, beneath these struggles, there is a whisper of something unseen, an invitation to see beyond what the eyes can hold. Something tender and loving is quietly watching over every step, even in the darkest moments. It's no accident that you are here now. Perhaps a gentle hand is already reaching out to you. If this message is touching your heart, subscribe to our channel and walk with us in prayer. Every day offers a new beginning, a fresh chance to see what may be hidden in the midst of everything you're facing. Now, let us prepare to discover what the sacred words reveal about the possibility of new beginnings hidden within what seems to be the end. There is a promise that can transform your view of this pain. Are you at the end? Maybe it's God's beginning. The Word of God has something powerful to say about moments like this, where everything seems to be falling apart and you feel like giving up. It's as if God is gently opening the Bible to remind us that even in our darkest moments, His promises still stand firm and His love is never-ending. See what the Bible reveals about moments like this. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11 NIV. And also, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. Romans 8 verse 28 NIV. These verses are not just words, they're a promise from God that no matter how difficult your current situation feels, He is actively working behind the scenes. It's as if God is whispering to your heart, trust me, I see what you don't see. Your pain isn't the end, it's a part of my plan to bring something better. Sometimes life's hardest moments make us feel like we are at the edge of a cliff, ready to fall. But in reality, God is standing there, holding us, inviting us to trust that even what looks like the end is actually a new beginning in disguise. This is what these verses reveal. Even when everything seems lost, God's plans for you are still alive and active. His purpose isn't to abandon you, but to shape something beautiful through your struggles. Before we move forward, take a moment to let these promises settle in your heart. Because what feels like the end might just be the start of something new that God is unfolding right now. Now, let's explore what's holding you back from truly believing in this new beginning. You may be fighting an internal war that no one sees, carrying burdens that feel too heavy to bear alone. Inside, there's a silent ache, a wound that refuses to heal, often hidden behind a mask of strength or indifference. Perhaps you feel trapped in a cycle of regret, punishing yourself with guilt that seems impossible to escape. There's a fear of exposing your true self, of revealing the vulnerability that you hide even from those closest to you. And deep down, there's a quiet shame for what you perceive as your failures, your weaknesses, your doubts that cloud your mind and weigh on your heart. You may be comparing yourself endlessly, feeling inadequate in the face of others' victories. Maybe you've convinced yourself that your struggles are shameful secrets meant to be endured alone. Sometimes you disguise your pain with distraction or busyness, hoping that if you ignore it long enough, it will go away. But underneath all the masks, there's a part of you that feels lost, forgotten, and exhausted, crying out for understanding that no one seems to hear. Know that God has seen every tear, every shadow lurking in your soul. He remains present, watching over you with unwavering love, even in the darkest moments you try to hide. Nothing about your pain surprises Him, and nothing can separate you from His tender acceptance. He sees your struggle, your fear, your silent cry, and He does not turn away. You are loved beyond measure, and in His eyes, you are already seen and understood in your deepest brokenness. If this truth is touching hidden areas of your heart and you want to sow into this ministry that reaches you deeply, consider leaving a super thanks with a generous offering. Your seed allows us to continue bringing healing and truth to more people every day. And it is in this place of pain that God begins to respond, quietly working behind the scenes. In your fragile moments, His divine touch is already beginning to prepare the way for renewal. You see chaos. You see brokenness. You feel lost in the darkness, overwhelmed by what seems to be destruction. But God sees differently. While your eyes focus on the disorder, His gaze perceives divine preparation. When you believe you're at the end of your strength, He is gently shaping your future like a skilled potter molding clay. In the quiet darkness where no one else can see or reach, God is working, crafting, refining, transforming. He observes every tear, every shadow, every silent cry, and his heart is moved with mercy. To him, your silence is not neglect, it is the quiet hum of him working behind the scenes. Your pain is not ignored, it is the soil where hope is being cultivated. What appears to be delay is actually divine patience, allowing time for his perfect plan to unfold. What you see as a punishment is, in truth, his tender care, guiding you through the necessary process of renewal. Even when your heart feels abandoned, God is present, like a shepherd guiding his flock through the darkest valleys, never leaving, never forsaking. His view is eternal, rooted in mercy and faithfulness. He sees not only your current struggle, but the destiny of glory he is preparing for you. And so, what seems like the end is only the beginning of a divine work that you cannot yet see. When your perspective begins to align with his, your heart will start to understand that every shadow is a space where his light is about to shine even brighter. And when you begin to see as God sees, your response will shift from despair to faith, from doubt to trust, opening the way for his miraculous move in your life. Now is the moment to choose to believe even without seeing the full outcome. You don't have to be ready, you just need to be willing to take a step forward. Faith begins where control ends. It's about trusting beyond what you understand, about moving forward despite doubts or fears. Faith is taking a step while still feeling afraid. It's obeying before understanding, like Abraham leaving without knowing exactly where he was going, or Peter stepping out of the boat with no ground beneath his feet. It's an active movement, a decision to trust even when the path isn't clear. As Hebrews 11 verse 1 reminds us, now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Let go of the weight of carrying everything alone. You don't have to understand everything to trust fully. Release the need to control every detail. If these words are activating faith within you, consider supporting this mission with a generous offering through the Super Thanks button. Your contribution is a seed of trust that allows us to continue spreading hope to thousands of people every day. And when you decide to trust, something invisible begins to move. It is in this step of surrender that promises start to take shape, even if you cannot see them yet. Trust is the bridge that leads you from what is visible to what is possible. You are not defined by your pain or your past. You are not what others have said about you or what life has taken away. Your true identity is rooted in the love of Christ, and in him you are made new. The struggles you face do not diminish your worth, they refine your purpose. You are a child of God, chosen and loved beyond measure. No mistake or failure can erase what God has spoken over your life. You are empowered by divine strength, not by your own effort or feelings. What he began in you, he will surely finish. Your future is secure in his promises, and your destiny is unfolding according to his perfect plan. You are called to move forward, not to stay stuck in yesterday's shadows. Nothing in your history is greater than the potential God is forming within you now. Every setback is a setup for a greater breakthrough. Because of his grace, you are more than a conqueror. Every step you take is guided by his purpose, and every move is part of his divine design. And as I declare this truth, I believe God is already working behind the scenes, shaping what you cannot see. Because when you speak faith, heaven responds. The new thing God is doing is already in motion, even in silence. Your declaration today is the key that unlocks what he is orchestrating in the unseen. Be confident, because your transformation has already begun. The Lord is at work in your life, and his promises will lead you into a new season of purpose and victory. Maybe you've been waiting so long that you no longer know if you should wait any longer. It may seem that God is silent, as if he is paused in the middle of his promise. But remember, silence is not absence. It's like a root growing beneath the surface, unseen but steadily advancing. Or like embroidery on the reverse side, where the intricate work happens in secret, far from the eye. Sometimes it's as if a hidden pregnancy is developing, a life forming quietly within. God is working in the secret chamber of your soul, tending to what you cannot see or understand. He never wastes silence. He is sowing something deep within, preparing in ways that only his timing will reveal. What feels like wasted time is often precise preparation, a divine craftsmanship happening behind the scenes. While it may seem like nothing is happening, he is healing parts of your past, restoring what has been broken, and blocking shortcuts that could harm your growth. He is repositioning circumstances and relationships, aligning everything for a purpose beyond your view. And while God takes care of what's around you, he is sculpting something inside you, shaping your heart with his gentle hands. What he started in secret is already being formed, and soon you will see it manifest in a new way of being. While everything around you may still seem unchanged or even at a standstill, something profound has already begun to take shape within you. You are no longer the same person who started this journey. Deep inside, the work of transformation is quietly unfolding, shaping qualities that will remain long after the circumstances have shifted. God is building in you a mature faith that trusts beyond what the eyes see, a confidence rooted in His promises even in times of silence. He is cultivating a gentle strength, teaching you to respond with patience and humility rather than rush or resentment. Within your heart, He is healing wounds that once caused bitterness and offense, restoring your ability to forgive and release control. He is awakening a clearer spiritual vision, helping you discern His voice amid confusion and noise. This process is about forming a dependence on His presence, not just seeking His hand. It's about learning to listen before you react, to trust even when the outcome is unseen, and to accept that peace often grows in the midst of chaos. Now is not the moment to fight what is healing you or to rush through this season. Instead, continue surrendering to what God is doing. Trust that this silent work is shaping your character for greater purposes. Embrace the process as a pathway to maturity, knowing that every moment of patience, humility, and trust is preparing you for the next season of purpose. And as you recognize this internal work, let's prepare to speak with God from this new place of awareness and surrender, opening your heart to His ongoing transformation. The time has come to talk to Him, not from a place of frustration or impatience, but from a heart that is being reshaped by His love and mercy. God, I come before you now with everything I carry and cannot seem to let go of. My heart feels heavy with doubts and remnants of pain that I've tried to hide, even from myself. There's a part of me that resists your voice, clinging to what feels familiar even when I know it's hurting me. I confess that I am still holding on to what you have already asked me to release, afraid of losing control or facing the emptiness that might come. Sometimes I hesitate to step forward in obedience because the path is unclear and the silence around me feels deafening. Yet deep down, I know that holding on only keeps me stuck, and I long for freedom that only you can give. Help me to trust you beyond what I see or understand, to believe that your silence isn't absence but wisdom. Teach me to surrender what I am still gripping tightly, even when my flesh screams for certainty. Grant me the courage to believe in your goodness when my heart feels fragile and uncertain. Remind me that you are patient, compassionate, and faithful even when I falter. Your mercy never fails, and your love is steadfast, never abandoning me in my weakness. I thank you for every moment of transformation, for the work you are doing within me even in times of silence and waiting. I consecrate my thoughts, my emotions, my decisions, and my entire journey to you, trusting that you are shaping me for your divine purpose. I surrender to you everything that still binds me, every fear, every doubt, and every shadow that tries to define me. And I choose to walk with you even without seeing the full picture, trusting in your love that never fails. I believe that your plans are good, and I hold on to the hope that what looks like an ending is only the beginning of your new work in me. Leaving behind what once held you captive is trusting in the one who can set you free and renew your life. Remember, even in silence, God is writing a new beginning just for you. If this message touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. And if you feel led to sow a seed of gratitude and faith, click the Super Thanks button and give generously. Your support keeps this message of hope alive. May the peace and strength of Christ be with you today and always. Until next time, walk forward in faith and trust in His perfect plan.